Good morning, everyone. Service at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Gainesville. I am Sue Boone, your worship associate for this morning. What am I going to do with y'all? I want to welcome all of you on Zoom, Church in Valdosta, and I'm cutting out, aren't I? Oh, good. Okay. And, yeah, I know. Wait a sec. Okay, we'll see if that helps. And those of you who are elsewhere in Florida, away for the summer, or at home, thank you for choosing to worship with us today. And for those of you here in our sanctuary, I'm really glad you came today. I'm a cisgendered tall woman of European descent. I'm 80 years old. My short hair is getting a lot white. And this morning I'm wearing a turquoise top, black pants, and black sandals, the Florida uniform. We are privileged to be on this lovely property, which was once the home of the Tumaqua and Seminole tribes. If you are a visitor or want to find more information about our church, please feel free to stop by our welcome table with the green tablecloth in the Phillips Social Hall during coffee hour. Our welcome team would love to tell you more about Unitarian Universalism and our congregation. Let us be in an attitude of reverence. Ellen, would you come to light our chalice? Our chalice lighting words this morning were written by Philip Lawson. As we light this chalice, we gather together to face ourselves honestly, to forgive ourselves gently, to love one another fervently. Thank you. Our opening words were written by Joe Van Roo and Lynette Lowe. Welcome to this space, this sanctuary of peace, where we come to not only create our best selves, but to also do the work of creating a beloved community. We come together today as individuals, much like individual pieces of glass or pottery that are different shapes, different sizes, different colors, all of which are broken with imperfect, jagged edges, but always beautiful. While our pieces may not always fit neatly together, it is within this sanctuary, guided by our principles and purposes, that we gather together to create a beautiful mosaic. May the brokenness and beauty you find in one another create peace in this space and fill our hearts with love as we worship together. As I've said often, one of the advantages of being the speaker or worship associate is you get to choose the hymns. So Destin is our speaker today, and one of his favorite hymns is hymn number 1028, The Fire of Commitment. It's in the teal, hymn number 1028, and the screen. Please rise in body or spirit and join together in song. Ours is a spiritual community where we forge connections. We trust in the strength of our mutual support, knowing how it has sustained us day after day, year after year. One way we forge connection is by sharing the joys and concerns of our life. As you came into the sanctuary, you find a book to record your joys and concerns for sharing with everyone. You may also contact the worship associate or the church office to put a note in the book. Our first joy are our visitors. We're all old timers here today. So I have no visitors for you. Michael Bass writes, where is he? Right back there. I'm happy to be back after 2 weeks away due to falling in my apartment. Thankfully, it was only a minor rib fracture, yuck, on my left side where I fell. The day before, I received news that Barbara Mollison, my teacher at my first year in school at Jenkins Elementary School in Interlaken, passed away the day before. Mrs. Mollison was such a special teacher to me, and I will forever fondly remember her. Thanks for sharing, Michael. And an announcement, there'll be brunch after lunch, after the service at Resident Coffee. Okay, talk to Phil, raise your hand, and he'll tell you all about it. For those of you who cannot yet share your joys and concerns, please come forward to drop a stone into our bowl. As the water surrounds the stones, may you feel the warmth of our community surround you and support you. At the end, Jim of the care team will place stones into the bowl for the joys and sorrows you on Zoom have in your heart. Please come forward.
My name is James Chase, and I am the Director of Lifespan Faith Development here at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Gainesville. I'm a white, medium-sized, non-binary person, and I use they/them pronouns. I have shortish, curly hair, glasses, and today I am wearing a black t-shirt under a very, very colorful romper, which I was very lucky to have in the back of my car. It's kind of overalls. And when I came here today, I was wearing blue jeans, and then I went and I stood out in the play yard for about 5 minutes, and I said, no, I don't think so. It is too hot for this today. So these are very light, thin cotton, and I think they're going to treat me better. Before we get started, I want to invite our kids to come forward because I have a very, very special guest with us today. Today we're going to be talking about one of our Unitarian Universalist values, which we get to talk about often. This is actually one that we don't get to talk about as often as the other ones. We usually say them in order. You can sit up here. We usually say them in a specific order, which is our acronym that says JETPIG, which spells jet pig. I heard the answer. Nice job. Hands up next time, though, okay? No, that's a joke. I don't care about hands. We're fine. So JETPIG is for justice, equity, transformation, plurality, interconnectedness, and generosity. And the one that I think maybe we talk about the least, or one, it's down there pretty low, is plurality. Does anyone have ideas about what plurality means? Oh, it was very quiet. Okay, I see a hand back there. Okay, so all different walks, doing things in different ways, they're all accessible and agreeable, right? We're okay with people doing things differently. So, I'm going to ask a question that might seem really, really easy to some of the brains in this room, but it might be tricky to others. What color are these? I'm going to ask for a little person to answer these because I bet I've got. Okay, what are? Choose one and tell me which color it is. Which one is the apple? This one's the apple and it's red, right? What about that one? Valley, do you know? It's a pear. Valley, what do you think? It's a pear. What color is it? It's green. That's right. So, do we all agree in general that this is red and this one is green? Yeah. Okay, we could get a lot more semantic about what I'm actually holding in my hands, but we're not going to do that today. No. So we've got a red apple and a green pear, right? But somebody in this room might not know the difference. So I have a friend here in this basket next to me. Oh, what is this? Who is this? It is a dog. Hi, friends. So, can one of you guys tell this dog what color these are? What? What the heck is red? What? What do you mean, what the heck is red? This one. What? You say what the heck sometimes. How did you know what I can see? So you love animals. Would you like to pet this doggy? Oh, thank you. Oh, hold on, everybody. Oh, kitties sometimes scratch you. That's true. Yeah. Okay, so doggies cannot tell the difference between red and green. How does that work? Kitties do scratch you on your head sometimes. That's so sad. Can we talk about if a doggy cannot see red and green, does that mean that red and green are not real? No. Well, how could we possibly even know what? Wait, hold on. What if different people saw different things? What if, I have a thought, I have a wonder. Valley, I have a wonder about what if when I'm looking at something like red and my brain works differently from somebody else's brain, what if I'm seeing a different color? How would I even know? Because what happens when you're really little, like even littler than Valley, when you point at a color and grown-ups and everybody agrees and they say, "Oh, that's red." We're all, well, is that green? We've got jokes. Okay, so we're looking at this and we say everybody pretty much agrees that this one's red, right? But what happens if some brains can't actually see the same as other brains? Wouldn't that be interesting? Does it make a difference if we're all agreeing that it's red? I don't know. What do you think? Ooh, so you knew already that some brains do see color differently. What do you think, Savannah?
There's also one more thing I want to add to that thought.
I want to hear it.
There's no technical way to actually prove that we all don't see red differently.
Whoa.
If I saw out of Webby's eyes, I might call red green or something like that. There's no
Wow.
way to actually prove that we all don't see colors completely differently, and we all just agree that apples are red and everything with the same color as the apple is also red.
Wow. So in this situation, I was thinking about this earlier when I was talking about this moment for all ages, and I was thinking, isn't it really lucky that we have all agreed? We've kind of come up with a covenant, which is a way of saying we all agree about something, even if we might be seeing it from different perspectives or seeing it a little bit differently. We have a covenant around color, don't we? Do you guys agree that this one is red and this one is green? Does anyone in this room want to disagree with that? Do we want to you Zachary for sure wants to disagree about that. And sometimes I think a lot of you do choose to do that. And isn't that fun that we have room for people who like to agree and for people who like to disagree about things? Do you like to disagree too? What would you like to add?
Just because of things like, for the example, dogs not
Uh-huh.
seeing colors in the same way we do, that doesn't mean they're below us in any way. Praying mantises can see in a huge variety of ways that our brains can't even comprehend. If you looked at a scale showing what we can see, a dog's thing would look like, I'm pretty sure, just one color of green, and then ours would look like red, yellow, and blue. But the
Okay.
praying mantis would look like all the colors of the rainbow.
Okay, so what Remy is saying is that just because some animals can't see as many colors, that doesn't mean that they're any less, and that praying mantises can see way more colors than we can. And I agree, and I was actually going to follow up with something like that. Do you think that this dog can maybe smell better than I can? Ooh, so maybe we all have different skills. A show of hands, who in this room is really, really amazingly awesome at math? I saw a hand for a second. I see a couple of hands. Who in here is really, really amazingly awesome at music? I'm pretty good. I'm going to go with yeah on that, today. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. And who in here is amazingly awesome at being a kind person? Oh, look at that. I see hands up here. I see. Oh, okay, come on. Try. Have faith in yourself. Come on. Who here loves somebody and is really good at loving? Yeah? Okay, who's here loves to read books? Yeah, we've got some readers here. I see a lot of, okay, we don't love reading. This one? No. Which one is the most important? You are the most important. That is a good perspective to have. I would like that on my mirror. Okay, so we don't know which one is the most important because they're all important, which is the whole idea of plurality, right? Yeah, it is okay if we are good at different things. It's okay if some of us are really, really not good at math. Love me. And it's so good to be good at what you're at. And we're going to call that it for our moment for all ages, and we're going to sing our kids out with This Little Light of Mine. We're going to the nursery today because there was thunder outside.
That'll be a hard act to follow. Let's switch gears. Oh, I was waiting for him to bring out a green apple. A different day? That would have thrown them. Our reading this morning is an excerpt from Stubborn Grace, Faith, Mental Illness, and Demanding a Blessing by Kate Landis. The Dalai Lama says that when we make a mistake, we need to ask, can I love this too? Can I love all of me, even the peevish parts? Even the insecure bits, the anxious bits? Because I can love my niece even when she sticks her hand in my cup of coffee and gets mad and hollers at me for it. It's easy. I don't expect her to be perfect. Can I extend that understanding to myself? Can I love my anxiety also? My depression? My desire to seem like I have my shit together, even when I'm freaking out? Can I love all of me? Our invitation to generosity is by Victoria Weinstein. The purpose of the church is to encourage all who gather there to grow more generous in spirit and action. This is the great end of all the world's faith traditions, to bring the human being closer to the divine by acts of creation and compassion. We will now take an offering that allows us to exercise that all-important generosity of spirit, an offering that will support our church and its many ministries. Will the ushers please come forward?
Good morning. So hi, everybody. Hi. Nice to see you too, Michael. My name is Destin Rushing. I also go by my birth name, Ryan. Reminder, it's okay to call me either one. Actually, it kind of amuses me when people get them tangled together because they're both my name. They're both equally special to me. So just keep doing what you're doing. It's fun. I use he, him pronouns. Here at UUFG, I serve on the AV team. I'm in the humanist circle, and sometimes I enjoy fires a little bit too much with soak-ups. I'm a short, cisgender, white dude with blonde hair that is most definitely not becoming gray by my ears. It's not happening. I'm wearing a teal shirt today with white palm trees on it and blue jeans. I'm wearing a silver medallion that has a fox on one side and a wolf on the other. It's a cheat code to how I'm feeling. If you see the fox, I'm feeling pretty good. If you see the wolf, maybe give me a hug. There might be something going on that day that makes me feel in need of strength or protection. So today, I want to go on a voyage with you all. This voyage will take place at the intersection of ADHD, memory, and narrative. I was diagnosed with ADHD at the beginning of April of this year, about 35 years too late. Better late than never, right? I'm going to provide my own definition of what ADHD is for me, so please don't diagnose yourself based on this. But what for me ADHD is, what fundamentally captures my interest, my attention, motivates me, and informs my worldview is fundamentally and indelibly curiosity and novelty instead of whatever motivates neurotypical people. In a nutshell, want me to go on, tell or listen to a cool new story, learn something new, go on an adventure, imagine a world different than ours? Betcha. You want me to do laundry, fill out the same form for the 5th time, pay my bills, make my bed. Oh God, the horror. It's just so hard to get myself to do such tedious things. Maybe that's how some neurotypical folks feel about these tasks, but for me, it's just that I literally can't get myself to do these things sometimes without medication. I realize now that my driving force has always been novelty and curiosity, and I'm glad my mind is wired this way. I don't think I would have survived my depression and anxiety if I was neurotypical. Taking care of my dog, Chip, his little chihuahua, and wondering what will happen tomorrow, whether tomorrow is going to be good or bad, has kept me alive. One of the things I discovered after my diagnosis is that my memory is very different from the way many people would describe their memory. My episodic memory, that is to say, my memory of autobiographical events, is like being in a beautiful, foggy ocean. Okay, my hearties, get strapped in because this is where the sea of fog metaphor comes in. Don't fall overboard. I don't think UFG is equipped with life preservers. Safety team, have you gotten some training on what to do when people fall overboard? No, okay. Don't fall overboard. So anyway, I'm in this beautiful foggy ocean. I feel at home in this foggy sea where there's no bright glaring sun and a sense of misty mystery is ambient in the air. I am the captain of a ship in a never-ending archipelago of islands. Each island represents a memory, and only if the emotional valence is strong enough does the island's peak break through the top of the fog and allow me to spot it and sail to it. Let me give a concrete example of what I'm talking about. Earlier this year, it was Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday is a day that has stuck out in my mind for 5 times now. Because on Easter Sunday, 2020, my boyfriend broke up with me. Out of the 7 people that I've dated, he was the only one that I really, truly loved. Had he not chosen that day, Easter, to do the deed, I would have struggled to remember the month and the exact day, maybe even the year. That experience, that memory, wouldn't have the emotional power that it has over me. Easter is now an island in my sea, a deadened volcano that erupts once a year, and I have no choice but to sail past it, coughing from its ash and fearing that debris will strike my ship. Maybe some of you will relate to this experience of having this island, this memory that you have to sail past once a year. Maybe it's a good island and there's like rum and partying going on. Or maybe it's more like my Easter island. Either way, it's a journey that we have to take each year, whether we want to or not. Sometimes I sail past many islands and they are invisible to me, though they exist, and they matter, and they have shaped me. Sometimes I need a navigator on board my ship to assist me in finding an island once more. Each time I visit an island, it will have changed, its story subtly rewritten. This doesn't alarm me, and I find comfort in that I am not sailing between mere rocks in the ocean, but between ecosystems made up of living stories. Dramatic memories, like the breakup on Easter, will never erode into my sea of fog. But some memories do. Some memories that seem rather remarkable. Just 5 days after Easter Sunday this year, a different friend, who I was also romantically involved with at one point, mentioned that he had said something to me that he still feels guilty about. I told him I didn't remember what it was, and that really, I didn't want to know. I told him that whatever he said to me that he regretted, I had forgotten it. I told him that he was absolved in a way that is truly absolute. My forgetfulness was an opportunity for forgiving and moving on. Because I can't remember what he said, this island never emerged past the fog. It's gone, though it may have left a gash in the side of my ship. Its eruptions might still be felt, but not witnessed. This is a subtle but known property of memory in some people with ADHD. I don't remember the past very well. Russell Barkley, a recently retired and prominent researcher on ADHD, describes people with ADHD as living in the here and now. As I think about what this means for me, I think back to these islands in my sea. No matter where I am in the archipelago, all of the islands feel like they're the same distance away from where my ship is. In other words, it doesn't matter if something happened when I was 3 or if it happened last Tuesday. These memories belong in the not now, while I live in the now aboard my ship. And of the future, it feels the same. Say that there's an iceberg that I am in danger of crashing into. That iceberg doesn't materialize for me until I'm about to crash into it. Deconstructing the metaphor, what I mean is that deadlines and future events aren't really real until they're just about to happen. In my life, my ship has been the Titanic crashing into icebergs over and over and over, fortunately without Leonardo DiCaprio. Sometimes I manage to turn the tiller in time, and sometimes I fail and the ship sinks. Because my brain says, hey, Destin, what's up? Do you really gotta look out for icebergs right now? Icebergs are boring. Hey, look, there's whales in the ocean. That's way cooler, right, bro? Crash. How far in advance do you see your icebergs? And what does that mean for your life, I wonder? It has been 6 months since I have started Adderall. In terms of time, it seems to change my perception. The islands are no longer equidistant from me. Some islands are now more important and closer to each other, like, it's that one, my least favorite island, the Isle of the Tedious Future Task. Ew. I think there's a picture of it over there. Ew. It's an island filled with laundry, bills to be paid, beds to be made, forms to be filled out, and the ultimate horror, Microsoft Excel spreadsheets. It is a horribly boring island. No animals, no birds, barely any grass, but I gotta go visit it. It's not an optional stop on the itinerary. I need to turn my ship there, step foot on it, do what I gotta do, and then leave. In a sense, the Adderall medication helps me see through the fog and get done what is needed. What does it mean to live with such a foggy memory, Adderall or no Adderall? Well, for one thing, if you've somehow offended me, I've completely forgotten. You're forgiven. But you, I still remember you, the person who unplugged all of the AV cables after the resurfacing of the chancel and who did not plug things back in the right way. You know who you are. I will never, ever forget. But I want to make an argument here that might seem counterintuitive. My poor autobiographical memory is a gift. Let's picture different kinds of memory structures as being different kinds of vessels that you might find in our mental sea. What kind of boat are you sailing? A ferry boat? Maybe it's not even a boat, maybe it's a submarine. How do you sail through your sea of memories? But then we have my ship, a secondhand pirate ship, old, creaky, and full of memory leaks. But there's something fun about my ship. Traveling on it is an adventure. Just close your eyes and imagine grabbing hold of the big wheel, right? So we're gonna turn, everybody go to the left, or you're right. Go, turn. No, I gotta go the other way. No. Crash, another iceberg. You have to hope that the winds are sailing in the right direction. But the ship still sails. The ship has soul. It'll eventually get to an island. If offered the submarine or the ferry boat, I'd stay on my secondhand pirate ship. And the reason why is this: forgetting is a gift. Philosophers such as Bernard Williams talk about the curse of immortality, that if people were immortal or born into some afterlife, people would suffer under the weight of having done everything and grow bored. I don't know what ocean this man is sailing in, where you can visit all of the islands and remember every single one. But in my foggy sea, each visit to an island is a retelling. Forgetting is a grace. It allows us to experience the old as new again. It can be tragic, too, such as when I watched both my grandmothers forget their lives due to dementia. That was really hard. But forgetting in the right amount can be a blessing. I cannot enjoy a story if it's been spoiled. I cannot enjoy a story if I have all the answers to it. Perhaps the same is true of my past memories. Knowing all, or at least much more of the details of everything that happened to me, would strip me of my own mythology and narrative. The story I tell now about myself cannot be and never was entirely accurate. The islands in the sea shift. The landscape erodes, and a volcano erupts, building new land. Nothing stays the same in my sea. Even as I integrate my ADHD diagnosis into my life, I am going back and writing a new draft of my story, remapping my entire sea. The question I found myself asking is, ultimately, when it comes to our personal narratives, whether truth is more important or is it story? Facts matter, but facts alone do not make a life. Story is how partial, changing memories become meaning. Story is what you get when you take experience and filter it through human perspective, emotion, and other cognitive chaos. Truth still matters, particularly when our stories involve other people, but factual accuracy alone cannot tell us what an experience means. Through story, we make meaning from what we can remember. I can't remember my own story very well due to my neurodivergent ADHD brain. Too many small islands under the shroud of fog, and a pirate ship that is most definitely not being used for piracy. So sometimes I insert a sea monster into an otherwise blank spot on the map. Not one with tentacles. I hate tentacles. Maybe the sea monster was real. Maybe it wasn't. But it's part of my story. To some extent, I think all of us fill in these blank spots with our own imagination. And I believe truly that this is okay. I want to hear all of your stories, even if some of them diverge from the truth because your own memory landscape has been obscured by fog, and you have to fill in the details. Maybe intentionally with a penciled-in sea monster, maybe unintentionally with details that shift every time you tell the story. Those stories still matter. Your stories still matter, especially the ones at Elder Odyssey. Starts back up in September, right? Yes, okay, good. Thank you for confirming that for me. I can't remember anything. What is your landscape of memory? Is it an ocean of islands completely without fog? Or is there some fog there too? Well, there's got to be fog, right? Nobody can remember with clarity, now can they? But are these landscapes vast continents? One large continuous island? I don't know. Nobody except you knows. And I think there's something beautiful in that. I invite you to celebrate with me the sacred gift that can be found in forgetting, its mercies, its adventures, and yes, even its mysteries. We may not control the sea, the weather, or the vessel we inherit, but we can learn to navigate, accept help, and invite others onto the deck. We can decide whether or not to signal joy with a fox or need for strength with a wolf. Thank you all for listening to me today.
Thank you, Destin. That's a hard act to follow also. I'm glad that you felt comfortable in sharing your life with us. Another one of Destin's favorite hymns, and I think many of ours too. Let us rise in body or spirit and sing together Blue Boat Home, number 1064 in the blue hymnal, the teal on the screen. Please remain standing and say together the child's lighting words on the screen as Ellen extinguishes the flame. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we're together again. Our closing words are from the vision of the Unitarian Universalist Mental Health Network. We envision a world where the beloved community is a place where all members feel welcomed, understood, and held in love. Where we engage in respectful curiosity to understand emotional distress, welcome open, authentic, and fearless sharing about mental health, and passionately commit to mental health justice. The service is over. Thank you for watching online and for being here. Join for coffee and conversation in the social hall. At 12:30, the humanist group will meet in the common room in the building next door. Thank you all.